So here we have the scale model of the planets in our solar system. Starting from the tiny one down here, here's Mercury, and then we move on to Venus and Earth, which are about the same sort of size. Then slightly smaller Mars. Then we move on to the gas giants. We have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. If we had these to scale, and we had the sun to scale in here as well, then the sun would be about 3.5 meters tall, so a bit bigger than the height of the ceiling in this lab. We're going to use this model to show you the distances between the planets and the sun, to get some sort of idea of the scale of these things. Okay, so off we go. Okay, so Mercury is the first one, about 56 million kilometers away. Now, E68, my lab where we're placing the sun, is 140 meters that way. So here is tiny little Mercury, and we're going to put Mercury just up there. So there's Mercury, and our sun is all the way over there. So we've reached Venus. Venus is 108 million kilometers away. But on our scale, I've just come about 250 meters from my lab, which is just over there. So now we're going to head off and we're going to reach Earth. See in a bit. Here we've reached planet Earth. On our scale, I've moved about 350 meters. The sun was over there. On an actual scale, it's about 150 million kilometers. To give you some sort of idea of how far that is, a jumbo jet flies about 500 miles an hour. So a jumbo jet would take about 21 years to reach that. Earth's orbit is not circular, it's actually an ellipse. So at some point we're closer to the sun and some point we're further away. In fact, now in January is the time that Earth is closest to the sun, although it really doesn't feel like it today. It's so cold. Right, next stop, Mars. So my lab is way over in that direction. You could probably see it if it wasn't so cloudy. We're now at Mars. Mars ranges, because of its elliptical orbit, from about 228 million kilometers away to about 141 million kilometers from the sun. We're going to leave Mars here. This is the end of the rocky planets, and we're going to head off to the gas giants. On our scale, we've travelled 1.8 kilometres. This is Bridge North Aluminium. This is where Jupiter is. Jupiter is actually 778 million kilometres away. Light takes 43 minutes to reach here from the sun. Let's leave this and head off to our next gas giant. I'm now 3.3 kilometres away from our sun, back there. Saturn is 1.4 billion kilometers away from the sun. If we was to travel there in our jumbo jet, it would take us 200 years. Let's move on. We're now 6.7 kilometers away from our sun, which is way back there. We're now at Uranus. Uranus is 2.4 billion kilometers away. Using our scale, Neptune is 10 kilometers away from our sun, which we left way back in the lab that way. Its actual distance is 4.5 billion kilometers from the sun. This is the end of our journey. We've done all of our planets in the solar system. If I was going to travel to Pluto, I'd have to go another 4 kilometers in that direction, almost at Wolverhampton, and he wants to go there. If I was to visit our next closest star, I'd have to drive 96,000 kilometers. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it gives you a sense of some of the distances between the planets in our solar system.